The phone lit up at 2:11 a.m. with the name he had tried to bury under work, drills, and empty nights. Harper. Lorenzo Vitale was already moving before the second buzz. He snatched the call and pressed the screen to his ear. "Harper?" Her breath came quick and sharp. "Lorenzo, I'm in labor." He froze for half a heartbeat. 8 months since the divorce decree. 8 months since he had walked out of a courthouse, jaws clenched, pretending it didn't matter. 8 months of pretending he had no right to wonder where she slept, who drove her to the doctor, whether she ever looked at the door and wished it would open. "Where are you?" His voice stayed even. Training did that. The panic went into a box. "What address?" She swallowed a sound, half pain, half fear. "My apartment, 4th floor. I called an ambulance, but—" Her breath hitched. "Someone's in the hall. They knocked a minute ago. They didn't say anything. They just waited." Lorenzo grabbed the gun under his nightstand, the spare magazine, the keys to the armored SUV. Holster on, jacket on. "Send me your location. Don't open the door." Another breath, broken by a contraction. "It's your baby." The words were soft and raw, like she hated that she had to say them now, like she had wanted to say them another way. He was out the door and down the private elevator before the line disconnected. The garage smelled like oil and cold metal. The SUV roared to life. The gates lifted. The night air cut through the city, clean and hard. He ran lights where he could, slowed where cameras were fixed, and threaded empty streets with a focus he hadn't felt in months. His hands were steady, palms dry, every sense turned to the root and the threat. He called one person. "Sophia, up." His sister's voice came fast awake. What happened? Harper, labor, possible tail on her building. He took the FDR on-ramp at speed. "Wake Collins. I'm taking Harper to her." "On it. I'll sweep the apartment. Meet you on the FDR near 23rd. Back up in 10. "Keep it tight," he said. He didn't say please. He didn't need to. The phone buzzed again. A text hit, a pin drop of Harper's building. Then a message. "They won't leave the hall." I hear 2 voices. I push the chair under the knob. Contractions 5 minutes apart. "I'm 3 minutes out," he typed. "Stay where you are. Do not make any noise." He cut the headlights as he turned onto her block. He parked across from a hydrant, nose out for a fast exit. He scanned the street. One sedan idling near the corner. No plates on the front bumper. A figure in the passenger seat texting. He moved through the building's vestibule with keys Harper had never asked him to return. He'd told himself he'd mail them. He hadn't. The stairwell stank of bleach and dust. He climbed fast and silent, placing each foot on the edge of each step to avoid the hollow creak in the middle. On the landing outside the 4th floor he heard it, a low male voice, then a hiss as if he had been warned. Another voice near the elevator. He drew and moved. The first man stood with his back to Harper's door. Hoodie, gloves, a phone in his hand with the screen dimmed. When the man looked up, Lorenzo saw him clock the angle of his shoulders and the set of his jaw, and then it was too late. He shoved the man's wrist into the wall, phone clattering, and pressed the barrel under his jaw. The second man by the elevator moved fast and reached for a pocket. Lorenzo fired once. A clean shot into the tile beside the man's foot. The crack in the hall was brutal. The man froze, hands up. "No noise," Lorenzo said without raising his voice. He had the eyes of someone who didn't need to repeat himself. "Walk to the stairs. Both of you. Hands where I can see them." The first man's breath sped up. "We're just maintenance. The building doesn't hire maintenance at 2 in the morning with burner phones." Lorenzo's gaze didn't leave them. Down the stairs. They obeyed. He waited long enough to hear the stairwell door bang open 1 flight down, then moved to Harper's door and tapped softly. "It's me." A pause. The scrape of a chair. The lock turned. The door opened 3 inches and then wider, and she stood there, hair damp at the temples, tank top and loose pants, face pale and fierce all at once. He hadn't let himself look at her in months. He had missed the tilt of her chin when she was set on something. He had missed the way her eyes softened when she let him in. He had missed everything that hurt to miss. "Don't," she said, as if she could read the softness in his face. "Just help me." He nodded once. "Bag?" "By the couch." She took a breath and gripped the doorframe as a contraction hit. He stepped close, set his palm at the small of her back, firm and steady, counting with her, breath by breath, until the wave eased. She sagged, shook out her hands, and nodded. They moved. He lifted her hospital bag, tucked a folder of prenatal records under his arm, and guided her into the hall. He scanned both directions. Clear. He held her against his side and took the stairs, one arm around her waist, the other free. Outside, the cold made her gasp. He seated her in the SUV, buckled her in, checked her eyes. "You with me?" She nodded. "I'm with you." He drove. One hand on the wheel, the other finding her hand on her thigh. Her fingers were cold. He wrapped them in his and didn't let go. "Contractions?" he asked. 4 minutes, maybe 3. They're strong." She swallowed. "I was going to call Dr. Collins next." Then someone knocked. They didn't say anything. They just stood there. And I thought maybe this was the night they were going to try. Try what? Make me disappear. She stared out the windshield, jaw tight. "You told me to stay away from your world." "I did. I changed schedules. I used ride shares under other names. I kept appointments off my phone. Someone knew anyway." He kept his voice careful. "How long have you known?" "That I'm in labor?" "An hour." She shot him a look, a flash of anger inside fear. "That the baby is yours? Since the second I saw that first scan." He almost smiled. It was small and gone quick. "I meant how long have you known they were watching?" Her throat worked. "Weeks. Something was off. Packages I didn't order at the door. Calls with no one there. A reset link to my patient portal I didn't request." He filed it all away. "We're not going to a public hospital. Collins has a private floor. Off-books intake. I already called my sister. She's clearing your place now and meeting us near 23rd for an escort." Harper gave a short laugh that held no humor. "Of course she is." The words landed like a bruise, not because they mocked him, but because they reminded him why they were here like this. He hadn't trusted Harper with the truth when he should have. He had taken away her choice and called it protection. He had signed divorce papers and called it love. A delivery truck swerved into their lane. He cut around it and took the next exit to the FDR. The city slid by in blocks of quiet light and empty piers. In the rear view, a compact sedan changed lanes when he did. He watched it. It held back, then crept closer. He hit the speed dial and put Sophia on speaker. "I'm on the FDR southbound," he said. 2 minutes from 23rd, one tail, possibly the same sedan from the corner. "I see you," Sophia said. "Black SUV, gray sedan, 2 cars back. I've got eyes from the overpass. I'll drop in behind them." Harper pressed a fist to her side as another contraction rolled through her. He lowered his voice. "Look at me." She did. He counted for her again. She breathed through it, never breaking eye contact. When it passed, she squeezed his fingers. She didn't say thank you. She didn't have to. "I wasn't going to call you," she said, quieter now. "I didn't want to need you. You called." He made it a fact, not a victory, because they found me. Her voice trembled, then steadied. "And because I didn't want to do this alone." He nodded. "You're not alone." Silence sat between them for a mile. Not easy, not gentle, but not the silence of strangers. He caught the gray sedan pulling closer again. He saw the passenger lift a phone, maybe to snap a shot of the plates. Sophia's bike slid into his side mirror, black helmet, dark visor. She cut in behind the sedan, matching their speed, and spoke into her mic. "They're making a call." "I'll spook them." "Don't engage," he said. "Relax. I'm just playing shadow." Harper shifted, bracing her feet on the floorboard. "How long can I wait to push?" "Until Collins tells you," he said. "And we get you to her." A streak of pain crossed her face. He hated how it looked there. "Does it hurt too much?" he asked, uselessly, because of course it did. She shot him an almost amused look. "Does it look like it doesn't?" He huffed once. Fair. Her eyes softened for the first time since he'd stepped into her doorway. You always did that.